Today I'm going to be working on my true Roselle. I have some seeds to plant and I have some seedlings to uppot. And I have a few tips and a little bit of growing experience I'd like to share with you. Hey, it's Elise. I'm glad that you stopped by the garden today. True Roselle. And I say true Roselle because there is another plant called false Roselle. And today we'll be working on the true Roselle. They're both in the Hibiscus genus. They both have some of the same common names, so they do get mixed up sometimes, but they really don't look anything alike. And I'll put photos up on the screen for you for both of them. I do not have the true Roselle in containers right now, so I want to get some started. All right, Roselle, Hibiscus sabdariffa. It is an edible hibiscus, and many names. Cranberry hibiscus, Florida hibiscus, red hibiscus, edible hibiscus, lots of different names. Sorrel, Jamaican sorrel, and the list just goes on. It's annual in lots of places, but you can grow it as a tender perennial in warmer weather. The plants can get 6-8 feet tall, and they make beautiful masses. The flower itself is usually a cream color and a deep crimson throat. The nice thing about the true Roselle, also called Rosella in some places, is that you can eat the calyx. And I'll show you some photos. And that's what you make the cranberry sauce out of. It's edible, it's medicinal. It's a great plant to grow. It is not native to the Americas. Asia maybe, Africa, South Africa maybe. In some sites they aren't even sure. But now it's grown all across the world, anywhere that you have enough warm weather. So zones 9 may be a really warm zone 8. True Roselle. All right, I planted some seeds, a month or so back. They germinated very well. I put 3 seeds on average to each little container. Lots of drainage holes. And you'll notice that they're different colors. And I think one of the problems is I had them in a spot, and when they were little baby seedlings, they got way too much sun. And I think this is anthocyanins, where the leaf has turned red. Anthocyanins is a flavonoid. And what happens if the plant, the little seedling, is too young to make the chlorophyll, then the plant steps in and sends down this other pigment to help protect the plant. And actually, I made a video on anthocyanins because once you start noticing it in your landscape, you'll notice it a lot. So I moved these out of the direct sun and I fed them very well. Now all the new growth is nice and pretty and green. So if you've got some young seedlings and they start turning colors, just go ahead, move them away from bright, direct sunlight. Nice. And I am going to plant some of these up. All right. I started some seed soaking, some more Roselle seed soaking. I don't know if you can see it. They sprouted in the water. I soaked them overnight. They sprouted in the water overnight. So definitely these are ready to go. All right. I just have my little standard container of soil here, all-purpose potting soil, slightly damp, lots of drainage holes. And what I'm going to do is just slip these in really easy. I don't want to mess up those little bitty seedlings. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. And just lay them down gently. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, about 16. I just wanted to count them so I can track the germination rate. So about 16 of the seedlings. Oh, excuse me, of the seeds. All right, almost there. These will go into bright indirect light. And when these come out, I'll try to keep them in that bright indirect light and not let the container get actually moved into full sunshine. So that's all there is to it. All the little bitty white seedlings. Now I'm just going to very lightly cover these. I'm not going to try to use my finger to press them in again. I don't want to break off that really tender sprout. And I'm not even going to do my normal light press. What I'm going to do, I will mist these, and that will help the soil to settle in. I'll go back and look at them again. If I see any indication that the seed isn't covered, then I'll go and add some additional soil. I have my label made. So that's all there is to that. Now, let's see what these root systems look like. Now, all of these did not have 3 seeds. All these cups did not have 3 seeds. I just used the seeds I had. Some of them I put 2 seeds in, some have only 1. Some of them didn't germinate. So I'm just going to squeeze the container, put my fingers through the plants, and dump it out. Look at that root system. Wow. All right, I am going to put 2 plants per trade gallon container, and this is going to give me a nice bushy plant. Now some of these I'm going to put direct into the ground. But for right now, I'm just going to gently tease this apart. I don't want to leave these together. Even though I'm putting 2 plants per container, I don't want to leave all this root mass coiled around each other. All right, very nice root system. All right, that's for another container. Okay, just dig in and make a little hole, snug it in. These are already quite tall. There's an option here if I want to take it. Come back and backfill if you need to. Make sure all the roots are covered. Make sure you are at least up to the depth that the stem was from the planting, okay? Now, I can come back and pinch these top leaves off. That's my option. And that will even make the plant bushier. I won't do it right now though, because they've been through enough stress. They've been through this transplant stress. What I will do is put them in my little plant spa with some Epsom salts, about a tablespoon per gallon of water. And I'll let them sit in that enough that all this soil saturates some of that enriched water. I'll take them out. And for right now, they're going to go in indirect bright light. Little by little, I'll harden them off. And harden your plants off just simply means starting them off in lower light conditions. Little by little, you move them out into brighter sunlight. Or maybe for half hour at a time, an hour at a time, just depends upon your plant. So now I have 2 healthy roselles in this plant, in this one container. But I am going to take half of these and put them in the ground in my landscape. The ones I'm putting into the containers are for my friends. I need to make labels, which I'll do in just a moment. And I need to go ahead and plant up a couple more. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm going to do maybe 6 more containers with 2 plants per container. That gives me 12, and the rest I'll put in my landscape. One really nice thing about Roselle is you can start it off as late as August. And chances are you're still going to have that juicy calyx by the holidays. Again, depends upon your planting zone. But for us here in Zone 9B, when we have a long growing season, by Thanksgiving, by Christmas, the calyx should be ripe. Really great. We'll come back, we'll visit at that time. All of my hibiscus, all of my true Roselle hibiscus that I planted last year, the squirrels destroyed. Yep. Not only did they eat the calyx, they tried to dig the root up, and most of the plants died. And that's all I'll say about squirrels at this moment. So I'm going to do 5, 6 more pots, maybe 7 more pots, 2 plants per pot. The rest of these will go into my landscape. When you're planting young seedlings out into the ground, or you're transplanting plants out into the ground, it is best to do it in the evening so they have the cool of the night to adjust. Make sure you water them very, very well if you're putting them in the ground. But that's how easy it is. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in so it doesn't stay stressed out. Very nice root systems. If the root system starts growing out of the bottom of the container, I'll go ahead and pot these too. But perhaps my friends will have them in place by the time that happens. I'm going to take this one out. Again, an easy way to take them out so that you don't crunch down on the top is just to do that. Put your fingers around. Look at that root system. My goodness. If your root system is too long and unruly, you can always pop a little of it off. Oh, I see an earthworm. Earthworms are really good to find in your landscape and your garden soil. They help compost by leaving behind their droppings. They help to aerate the soil. When they go through it, they leave little drainage holes where water can trickle easier. Great, great things to have in your soil is worms. But that's how easy it is. Like I said, I'll put photos up for you so that you can see the difference between the true Roselle and the false Roselle. And if the squirrels are kind enough to leave me any plants this year, we'll come back and look at these later on in the year when they've started setting their calyx. Nice. I will say this now, your false Roselle, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the flower petals, but you cannot eat the calyx. The true Roselle, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the petals and the calyx. They both have edible properties. They both are easy to grow. They're both considered tropical. They're both in the hibiscus genus. They both have medicinal properties if you'd like to look into that. All right, I'm going to make my labels. I will mist these very well, put them in direct light, and give them some Epsom salts. Nice. That was an easy project. And hopefully, all of my little seeds, let's say, we're already starting to sprout, will do really, really well. Till we speak again, have a fantastic day.